Hi, everybody on YouTube. All right, not going to be long at all because I have to go get my grandson just now. So, sending you guys out so much love today. Today's the full moon in Leo. Wow. It is a powerful moon. It is a moon that is going to help us to connect with your heart chakra, connect with love. And it is getting us prepared in many ways because once the sun leaves Aquarius, once we start moving into this new direction, we're not going back. We're not going back. Um, as I said when I, did my look into 2025, once we hit March, we're not going back. Once Uranus goes into Gemini, even though it's going to retrograde back, this is an era, a time we've never lived in. And that's why it's so important for this full moon to connect with one's heart, connect with one's, you know, self and ground and allow yourself to really feel your vibration. The point of where we're going coming into March it's an effect that's going to affect everyone, not just a certain area or a certain place or people, and that it's where it's going to affect everyone. Very similar to how WW2 affected everybody. Didn't just affect little pieces here and there. It affected, that's why it was a world war. Not everybody may have been involved, but there was an effect in some way, somehow it did. And that's where we're entering. We're entering into a time where things are going to affect, and we're not going to understand everything fully. We're not going to understand how this, what's it all about? That's the thing. That's why it's so important to connect with oneself. That's why it's so important to connect with your divine, as above, so below. This is where you connect with your heart. This is where you start to live fully and completely within your alignment, within your truth. And as you are living within that alignment and within that truth, you will find that you're going to be happier. You're going to be more content. You're going to feel more joy when everything else isn't. That's the other part, when everything else is like exploding here and there, and craziness is happening. Connecting with yourself and grounding and doing the breath work, doing, the heart chakra work, connecting with that heart. That's where we're going to find that it's going to be so important for us. It is a time where we've never lived before. Yeah, there's some really tough squares out there with Uranus. Uranus is going to bring us some unexpected stuff. It ain't new. We've been going through this for a while, but it's getting us to be able to navigate it because we're coming into that divine wisdom and that divine will. When we're allowing for the divine will, that means we're surrendering to the love. We're surrendering that, God is coming in, or the goddess is coming in, guiding us upon this journey. And I'm trusting in that higher power because I can't trust here. I can't trust here because there's a lot of things, a lot of illusions that are coming in that are very abstract. Mercury's heading into Pisces, right where everything started going crazy from 2019. Venus is going to be going retrograde at just a degree off of where she went retrograde 8 years ago. So, and then squaring over to Mars. So we're bringing in, some energy from 2017. The nodes were flipped then too. So we looking at the things that happened 8 years ago. Where were we 8 years ago? Where are we now? Are we still going through 2017 in our lives? Or have we done the work and really released it and moved forward and saying, yeah, you know what? I'm moving forward. I'm creating new vibrations, new energy, and I'm going on to my eagle's perch and I'm taking a look around. And I'm allowing myself to see truth in what is being said and done in this world. And in seeing that truth, that's where I can send my love. That's where I can send the joy, the positive, and give that vibration. That's where I can do that. But I can't do it if I am caught up in the craziness of the world. Are you taking out the boxes in the kitchen and putting them in the back of the trunk?
Shit.
Ah, shit. Sorry. See how I entered that in?
No, I gotta take it up. I don't think I want to do it.
He doesn't want to do it today. That's fine. So creating that divineness is so important for us. I just finished all the moon readings, and a lot had to do with people's heart chakras. It was funny, every time I was doing readings for people, my nose would start running, and I just like started to wanting to sneeze. So there was a lot there that people are being pent up about and people are holding on to, right? Because we got this whole area, because our third eye, also joins in to our ears, also joins into our sight and our sinuses, and we also have our throat chakra that goes up there as well. So we have these two areas, from our third eye and our throat, because there's congestion. Maybe we're not understanding the clarity of what we are being shown by spirit. We're not trusting it because it feels cloudy, or it feels elusive, or it feels too abstract. Are we speaking that truth? And are we able to silence ourselves when we don't need to speak at all? And that's a big one too, because there's a lot that's going to pull you, that you want to scream and you want to yell and you want to get people going like, ah. But this is like, maybe I need to be in the silence. Maybe I just need to watch and trust. And if I can watch and trust and have that peace and that patience and come into that love, this is where we're able to flow through this. And there are people, unbelievable pressure in my head since yesterday. Oh, really? Yeah, I believe it. A lot of pressure coming in, a lot of, you know, um, it's just the heaviness and the weight. And so it's the clearing. That's why it's so important to journal, to take some time, go into the bath. I think I know, I think everybody, I told them to go have a bath, or a shower or something, to allow for, the water to cleanse and clear and come into the grounding, which is so important as well. I mean, it's funny because I don't watch just um Canadian news. Like I watch a lot of European, and people who know me, watch a lot of English newscasters, and news programming, and then I watch a lot of American as well. So I see what they're saying as well, and getting their perspective of what's going on, because we can be so blinded, that we don't see everything around it. When we're coming into the heart chakra, when we're coming into that eagle's perch, it doesn't mean that you're blinding yourself, doesn't mean that you're stopping yourself from seeing. It means that you are allowing yourself to be more open, to what is happening, to be more open to the truth. Somebody said to me the other day, "Oh, you're just a Trumper." I'm like, well, yes and no. Not everything I approve of that he does. There's a lot of things I like what he's done. I mean, he's not the be all end all. He's not the savior. Nobody here is the savior, right? So this is where it's like, yeah, okay, I will listen, but I won't be upset because he does something and I don't like it. It's like, whatever. It's coming to a place where, no, I gotta come in to my own, right? And see what I know is truth. And it's revealing it to us all the time, but sometimes we just don't want to see it. And this full moon wants us to see it, wants us to connect with it, wants to come into that heart, right? And when Mercury moves into Pisces, when Venus goes retrograde starting March 1st, and then Mercury will be going retrograde just shortly after. This is, I don't know how to put it, but the world's going to change. How exactly it's going to look, I can't tell you because Uranus. But I know there's going to be so much change, and it's going to be affecting all of us in different ways. And that's why it's, again, I'm going to stress the connection with heart, the connection with oneself, the grounding. That's where it's so important for us all. And coming into that place of peace, of peace and tranquility. And that's what we all have to look at. I know March, that's one of the reasons I'm starting that divine wisdom in March. And it's I'm starting it the day after Venus goes retrograde, because Venus will, the 40 days and 40 nights. And it's doing it for the 21 days, coming into the transformation, coming into the change. It's a lot where with this one, I'm going to be recording. It's going to be audios that I'm going to be sending people so that you have an audio and you can just listen to it, listen to either the mantras that I'm doing, listen to the prayers, or listening to different information that I bring forth, and allowing yourself to be able to play it at any time. That's part of the 21, doing the 21 days and entering into a time of surrender and transformation. So that's going to be the hard part for people. Not everybody's going to get it as we're entering into March. Not everybody's going to understand. Again, this is where Mercury going into Aquarius, where spells have been cast before, and not everybody's going to hear what's being said or done. And I've become very observant and kind of feeling like nonchalant about things that are going on in the world. Not getting upset. People are all upset about Trudeau and everything. I'm like, okay, be upset about him. Just, the next thing I'll say to you, send him love, send him peace. And it's like, oh my God. But if you want to make the change, you want to do the change that wants to be done, doesn't mean you agree with that person. Doesn't mean that you like, you might not like them fully, but when you're sending them, it's like sending them the positive. That's what you want to get returned. And it's a hard lesson to learn. You're getting so angry over people. I have one person that I know, she just gets so angry over things. And I'm like, why? I yelled at that person outside the store because they shouldn't have been parked in. Like, that's none of your business. Why? If a fire truck came and they moved away, okay, they'll be able to do. But why are you getting yourself upset over other people? At the end of the day, we have no choice in what happens with people in power and their choices. Exactly. Shit. I mean, things. You could go back to the time of Caesar, the Roman times. I mean, there were asshole politicians back then. There's always been asshole politicians. But this is where we have to really come in again into our heart and into our own ownership, and not, if you want to get so upset about what's happening over there, then get yourself over there and get yourself involved. For me, I want to, my thing is like, I want to bring people to spirit. I want to bring people to God. I want to bring you to that divineness. And through that divineness, help you to bring that into your day in what you do. It's not an easy thing. I'm not perfect at it. Trust me, sometimes divineness doesn't come to me every day. Sometimes I feel like, oh, well, I want to tell everybody to fuck off and get the fuck out of my way. Right? And then I have to think, oh, okay, what comes out of my mouth, it comes from my heart. If what comes out of my mouth comes very mean and angry, then that's coming from my heart. My heart's being mean and angry. But if I try, and every day I try, and I'm going to give this up to the Holy Spirit and ask for inner peace and miracle. I'm going to blessing everything with love and light and true force energy. And I'm bringing that to people and bringing it to my life, and understanding that I am not perfect. I have fucked up days. I have days, the one thing what I hate is when somebody says, well, you're spiritual. You shouldn't be talking that way. I'm human. I'm human trying to navigate my way in this world of illusions. That's the thing. And sometimes when you're navigating through this world of illusions, there is crap ass shit that shows up, and you're just like, what the fuck now, baby? So honoring the mess ups, the screw ups that we all do, because we're all human. Most of us, anyways. We'll leave that for a discussion for another day. But it's coming into that peace, right? And that's where this moon is. It's coming into peace. It's coming into the heart, and allowing ourselves to come into that heart center, right? And that's, intuition. So in comes the high priestess. She has knowledge. She's not going to release it all, but she has the knowledge. The knowledge is earned as you are coming into the trust, as you're coming into the alignment. More will be revealed to you. If you are standing out there being a dipshit, well, I'm not going to give you much. I'm not going to give you the knowledge until you take the responsibility of the being of the dipshit. Then you get a little bit more, right? It's almost like taking on that responsibility. As you take on responsibility, more comes. So a lot of people are like, oh, well, why did I take on that responsibility? Because there's something about being creative, something about allowing yourself to create something more joyous. Do I want to go back to 2017? Hell no, I don't. 2017 was not a good year for me. 2017 was a huge transformational year for me. And it was a very difficult year. And going back to like 2014, 2015, knowing what I know now, of course, the shoulda, coulda, woulda's come in, but this is where the forgiveness has to come in as well. All right. And don't blind yourself to the truth. You separated in 2017. So during this time, like, this is when Venus is at the same degree with this full moon as it was in February of 2017. And I find that amazing. That's why it's so wonderful. Following Venus is such a beautiful thing, because of her flows, and we know what she's going to do. She doesn't try and flip you around like Uranus and say, oh, no, we're going over here. She is, no, this is where I was 8 years ago. Are we cleaning up? Are we creating something new? Right? And what is it that we moved from? Or are we still hanging on to things, people, places, and think, of that time? Is there's still a part that we need to heal and say, I love you, I forgive you, not only to whatever, but to ourselves. And that's part of the responsibility in moving forward, and knowing we have the skills to do it. Knowing we have the skills to do it. Knowing that we can do it, and that there's more there for us to do. 2017 is when Man. Yeah, there was a lot going on with that. That's when we basically, with our son and everything, um, it was just, yeah, it was tough. But moving to where we are now, it's it's a place where I'm at a little bit more peace and a little bit more understanding. So, on that note, I'm going to send you guys out so much love. I want you to have a great day. Got to go pick up my grandson, do all of that. He's so happy. Last day of school, no school until next week. So he's quite happy about that. And Mama's home today and tomorrow for him. And I just have to work on Friday on Valentine's Day. So sending you guys out so much love. If you are wanting to join me for March, let me know. Payment plans are available. And I love you all. Thank you for being a part of my journey. Thank you for being a part of my community. And blessings to you all. Have a great day, great evening, and talk to you soon. Bye-bye.